There you go. So that like we're actually doing something. Fancy spreadsheet.
Well, yeah, I think you might say, all right, we've got
Right.
the school's budget calendar, and
Because then I think we definitely could have the budget to the BAC by
Well, it is on here, the date that we're supposed to have it to
Just-
them. So
'cause-
we may need to just look at some of the dates, because I know I had some questions, so.
Because we have our workshop on the 10th,
Yeah,
and we
which
have
is on
our
here.
budget or we have our regular meeting on the 14th. So by the 14th, we should have it approved by the school board, correct?
Hopefully. So if you look at this, the green is all of our meetings that we're having, and the orange means it's a different date or time than our regular scheduled meetings. So if you see, if you go down to the 12/10, that is the Newport School Budget Workshop. That's the day of our workshop. And then on the 14th, we're going to take public input. And that's just public input. That's a public input forum. That's not our public hearing.
And that's our regular.
And then you see budget delivered to BAC on the 15th. So we have that in our schedule to do that. And then budget review with BAC to be determined. And then you see the next one, on the 3rd, it says post for public hearing to be held on the 11th. So this really lays out everything for the whole year for us. Yeah, I can change dates, right? But I figured that once we did our public, because what I can do is on the 10th, after the board votes and they say yes, this is good or whatever, then we're going to put it out on our web and out to the public and everything. And then look for just a public input forum, nothing that is, like I said, our public hearing, in case anybody has any questions or concerns. And then after that, the board will then vote, yes, this looks good, and then deliver it to you guys. So on the 10th, the school board is not actually, they're just looking to move it to the next meeting, which will be the 14th, which we'll be looking for public input. So this is actually yours from the meeting. I gave this to anybody at the meeting has mistake, actually. One of the things that our board currently has is our total budget, and I can make these for everybody. I have one tonight, but it breaks down like our ESSER money, our cost, and what you can use ESSER for, our revenue sources, all of that stuff, and then our budget. And then I broke it down in case anybody was interested by building. So it would be, one would be, you just look to see, okay, this is Richard's school, so this would be the changes. So the one on this side is the whole budget. This one is broken down. So if you look at this budget here, you may see salaries. It's all salaries from everybody in our district. If you look here under salaries, under Richards, that's just the Richards staff. So I broke it down that way as well.
So it's pretty much the budget you're going to be presenting to your school board, right? And they'll go over, you've gone through the review with different departments and different buildings and created
yes,
the budget you have
the proposed
there.
budget, yes.
Right, and then at this point, the school board is going to review your numbers and
Right, and that's what our workshop is for,
right.
to go over that stuff with us, yes.
So really, I think for the BAC, we need to be better to see what comes out of that than seeing what goes into that workshop with the...
Right, and that's why I have the date, delivered budget to
Right.
BAC as the 15th.
Mhm.
And it should be approved by our board by then. I can't see how it wouldn't be.
Right.
I can't see how it wouldn't be, but
I know.
Mhm.
But right now, if we, and of course Rob is here, Rob's our BA, I apologize. I don't think we've met. I'm Donna McGoon, I'm the superintendent.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. This is,
Rob DiGregorio, business administrator.
Business administrator. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm Ken Dufort, and I'm on this committee and the moderator for the town. So,
Oh,
as
okay.
of
Who's the moderator for the
Sorry.
school district?
right now it's going to be Dr. Stock. He's going to do both roles for right now.
That's state law.
What's that?
That's state law.
Yep.
Okay, moderator and,
The clerk serves as the moderator until the next election.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So since he's moderator, does he get to speak?
Runs a meeting. Can speak a lot.
I can, if I can
So-
make
so-
copies of all of this stuff, or we can wait until after.
So what's the purpose of the meeting on the 4th of January? Is that basically to meet a joint meeting with the BAC to review the budget, go over it with the BAC perhaps?
That is. What that was?
Because,
That maybe to review our suggestions, or?
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's to go. I think it's for us to review any of the suggestions that you have. Is what it is. So that's. So once we give the budget to you, then you see it says budget review with BAC to be determined. So we're hoping to have that prior to the 4th, and then we could have that discussion on the 4th with the school board.
And when I'm looking at our operating procedures thing here, it says we're going to receive these budgets and we shall conduct at least one public hearing on each budget, and they require 7 days notice.
Yep.
So I don't know if that will be that meeting or we have to have more meetings between the 10th and that meeting. We'll have to figure that out, presumably.
well, there's also,
You have your public input forum on 12/14, could that be considered? Although
Can it be
the window's getting kind of close.
That's what I
here.
was
Sorry, if you gotta have a 7-day notice.
working out in my head.
Well, and usually the BAC's public hearing would be after you, just before you vote to accept or what you want to approve for a budget.
Right, we'd get the input after we've studied it, have some thoughts on it, and then
Yeah.
our reaction.
Usually that would be summarized, and then you take that to the public hearing and say, we are recommending $10,000 more than what they've got. It's on this line, and here's why.
So we need time from when we receive it, set up a meeting to consider it, at least one, right? And then warn another meeting. So it's probably several weeks that we need between these things.
and thing to keep in mind is, we also will not have seen the petition articles, and the contract negotiation may not be done until right before the public hearing.
The negotiations for the
Support staff.
support staff will be. We're done with them.
Okay, so you'll meet that deadline.
Yes,
But
but we are also opening up for teachers.
that's not.
But that's not until next year's budget, though. We opened early, but the
It's for
negotiation.
next year's budget.
Yeah, well, not the one, not this one,
Yes.
the following one.
No, this is for next year.
You sure?
Yep.
So you're just starting negotiations now for a budget that needs.
No. This is just, their actual negotiation isn't next year. We're opening up just for salary.
Okay.
So it's not gonna be,
So that-
we're gonna propose an amount, and if they don't accept that, then we're done.
So 24-25 is the final year of their current budget, or current contract?
Correct.
But you're looking at
Upping it.
negotiating with them to increase salaries from what was estimated would be good a couple years ago. because
Yes.
Things have changed.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, the town's done that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that will have an impact pretty much on what you go into your public hearing with.
Yes.
Generally, by the hearing on the 11th or whatever that is,
Yeah, we're looking
That's-
at either next week or the week after meeting with the teachers. And we're thinking that should not be a prolonged thing, because the board has opened up the negotiations. We're gonna come in with an amount, and then if they don't, it's not really, It's not more like a negotiation, right?
It's
We're
like,
gonna,
we want to give you more money, do you disagree with us or not?
right, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. And
Yeah.
if they say, well, we want more money, then we say, okay, we're,
No, you've got so much money available based upon the income you've gotten from outside sources and such, and what you feel your budget
Correct.
can handle, plus you know the economics of the area and what inflation has been and what others are paying, so.
correct. And the teachers, I mean, the sports staff is part of our budget, it's not a warrant article.
Support staff.
Support
So
staff,
it's a one-year
yep,
contract.
yep.
It still gets spelled out, I believe.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not a warrant article.
Yeah.
Actually, the teaching negotiation won't need to be either,
Hmm?
right? Because it's adding to the last year of the contract.
Oh, you may, I think you're right with that.
Yeah.
So there'll be no standardization, so it can
Yep.
be included.
Yep.
If you want, that's how you want to do it.
Yeah. But so that'll. Well, thing is, on the 11th of January at the hearing, you may hear input that the school board may consider adjusting some numbers based upon the hearing. That's the whole point of the hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine, because this is just the first hearing. You're required to have one hearing
I'm
at
talking
least
about
25 days.
school board hearing.
Same school board,
Okay.
budget law is, you've got to have one public hearing at least 25 days prior. You can have a hearing the night before deliberative session, and a subsequent hearing, that's allowed. So,
But then, for the BAC, once we hear what the school board delivers after their public hearing, which ideally would be their final number to take to the deliberative session, the BAC would then be able to review that and make our recommendation and hold our hearing somewhere between that date and the deliberative session. Ideally soon enough so that the school board can go into deliberative session knowing how the BAC, feels about their articles.
that's one way to do it. The other way, though, is I've always tried to have the BAC have their recommendation before the Board of Selectmen approves their final budget. So they can say, oh, the BAC thinks we should add $10,000 for Meals on Wheels, or whatever. We can consider that. So there's kind of
Yeah.
a flip, reverse way to look at it.
And about how much time you have.
That too. Because realistically, I mean, if you're getting the budget on the 15th, you've got a few days before Christmas week, and then you've got 2 weeks afterwards, then it gets into your public hearing, into the school's
Yeah.
public hearing time. So you've got realistically 3 weeks to be able to work.
And we're going to say the smallest cycle is a 3-week
Without
cycle
bringing
because it's
into the
the beaver.
present.
In the middle of a holiday season where a lot of people prefer to be doing something else and be elsewhere.
That could be.
So,
Yeah.
Although the holiday week would be probably the 7 days notice week for us is the way it falls. I think we got lucky, basically.
Yeah.
We'd have our hearings right before the holidays, a week of notice, and come right back from New Year with a meeting would probably be how it would have to happen.
Yeah.
Is there a preferred system as far as the meetings go? As meeting here, meeting at the SAU, or?
I would ask that you meet at the SAU for the school budget, because,
that's where all the documentation is.
yeah.
Okay.
And then we can get to the town stuff in March, we'll be here.
So pretty much, let's see. So the school board has a workshop just under 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Then they will.
Looks like the week of
And then 2 weeks from 16 days, they'll have their school board public input forum.
And that's a regularly scheduled school board meeting.
Right.
The difference is we usually start at 5, or we're starting at 6:30, so
Right.
that way for people that
So-
want to come in.
So the budget, earliest the budget, the BAC would know what the school board has for a budget would be the 15th.
Correct.
Makes it,
And then it's
that makes it.
3 weeks from there for us to consider it, give any feedback, warn a hearing, hold a hearing. So I don't know if that bumps into any timeline issues here.
Yeah.
Well, warning the hearing, you can warn the hearing today. If you wanted to say, all right, their hearing is the 11th, we want
Oh,
to
that's
have,
true.
we want to have our
To
final
pull it
number
in.
on Monday the 8th or Tuesday the 9th.
Right.
You can warn that today and it'll be done.
So you could probably turn it into a 2-week
Yeah.
window-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. So the notice portion of it
Isn't the problem? Yeah, you don't.
It's finding the meeting time.
Right.
You've essentially got the weekend of the week of the 18th to the 22nd, and then January 2nd to the 9th.
At this point, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, it's, school board's gonna look at it in 2 weeks, and then it's really a crunch for the BAC to do something in the middle of the Christmas holiday.
But so Jeff, if we ran with your thought of if you waited until after things were more settled for them, if we wanted to do that, right, then you could do what you're describing here. You could probably get it into a week that's after that moment, right, when they've got all their input, got things settled.
Yep.
And front half of the week is our meeting ourselves, anticipating that we're going to be okay for a later pre-warned meeting for input,
Right.
and wrap it up in a week.
And I mean, the other thing, doesn't mean individual board members or the BAC as a whole could go and sit for that Sunday workshop and hear what the principals have to say, or
Preparation.
whatever. And it would give you your background
And
and
that
or
would,
watching on
that,
TV.
that's almost the same for the underneath the 15th where it says 6:30, budget review with BAC, Newport School Board Administrative, with the
Right.
TBD.
Mhm.
Right.
So if you guys came on Sunday, you'd be getting the same thing, that they would be presenting later.
Right.
Or they can just, I mean, if it's much easier for you guys, I know it's not fun to come on a Sunday. We can do it at nighttime. And it's far enough out, we can do it that week if we needed to. Well, I think the 14th is a Thursday, so.
So in theory, our own review and work and our hearing, public hearing, could happen the week of the 9th. And that looks like that's ahead of, I'm not sure what I'm all reading on this calendar, but it doesn't look like that bumps into any problematic deadlines,
No,
if that happened. What's the first date on here that it would be a problem if we weren't done?
The first date on here that would be a problem if you're not done is the 2nd of February for the delivery session.
Yeah.
Third of
Everything else
February.
can be.
That's
3rd of February.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Prior to that, that day, if you did it on the 2nd of February, you could get up at the meeting and say, we went through this budget and we recommend it or we don't recommend it.
Right.
Before that is the posting, the 29th.
Yep.
Because I don't know how it would work, it's been years. But the school board budget and then the BAC's budget posted in line. If there are differences, if not, it's just the BAC recommends.
Right.
But getting it posted with the warrant. And then before that, it would be the public hearing if you want to be able to go to their public hearing or have them have
On the
their public
11th.
hearing on the
Mhm.
11th.
I was gonna say, ideally, speak with one voice at that
That would be
meeting.
best.
That would be ideal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That would be best. I will say, I think I remember days when there was a public hearing at 5 o'clock, and then there was a selectmen's public hearing at 6:30.
Yeah.
And just kind of to get the time in, and unfortunately, BAC public hearings, a lot of times there's nobody at.
Yeah.
Sometimes board public hearings, there's nobody at.
Right.
But
Well, and I can imagine if I'm a townsperson, I'm trying to figure out, do I give input to you guys, or you guys, or you guys, or you guys? It's all one town to them, so.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. For me, it sounds like inserting our process after the first of the year, after that moment in there, and just getting it done in January feels. And building it to get done before the 11th, basically, would be, seems doable. I don't know how anyone else feels.
Sounds good to me, as long as we, I mean, they shouldn't have to basically rewrite the budget or anything. It's just gonna be a few recommendations or suggestions.
yeah. Do you want to set hard dates? Only because I'll put them in the minutes, or you can leave it to the discretion of the chairman who is not yet named.
Yeah.
I know, I was thinking about that earlier, I was like, well, I think we skipped this step.
Historically, BAC has been Tuesdays and or Thursdays. And sometimes Thursdays have conflicted with school board meetings.
So Tuesday the 9th would come fresh off of anything that surfaced at the school board budget meeting on the 4th. So. That feels good to me.
For the public hearing?
For our first, yeah, that's a good question. I would propose that for our first meeting as a BSC group, assuming we want to meet before a public hearing.
I thought you wanted to do your public hearing on the 9th.
No, you're saying the 9th would be the first meeting where we look at their budget formally
Okay,
with the
Yeah,
BA. And
it's interesting. In the
so where I basically put the
11th is
TBD,
Thursday.
that would be the 9th, the 6:30 review, budget review with BAC,
I'd say so.
so that would be the 9th, you're saying?
your hearing's the 11th.
So if it was going, yeah, it becomes, we meet on the 9th in case there's anything we want to do in preparation for maybe a public hearing on the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't give us any reaction
No.
time for the 11th. No?
I'd say if we meet on the 9th, I would actually say we should meet perhaps the week before, like the 2nd or the 4th, to look at it. Maybe a second look at it on the 9th. They have their hearing on the 11th. And based upon the hearing, if we need to, we meet on the 16th to vote basically on anything we need to vote on. We have to hold a hearing sometime,
Yes.
or maybe hold a hearing on the 16th. And then vote on anything we need to, and that could be it.
So if I'm reading the schedule correctly, an issue potentially with the 16th is that is 5 days after you all are adopting a budget. Yes?
Mhm.
Yep. Because that's our public hearing.
So the question is, do you want to be, your opinion heard before they approve their budget or after?
Is, right.
Well, that would be the reason to meet on the 9th. And maybe even the week before.
Right.
That's what I assumed, there's a meeting the week before.
On the 4th, perhaps.
The 4th, we have
Right.
that's the Newport School Board budget meeting. That would be
That
one
you
of
were
our
planning-
regular
you were
meetings.
planning on anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
that would be one of our regular school board meetings. Well,
Regular
actually, the
meeting on
4th shouldn't
1st.
be. The
That's
4th
first-
should not
first
be.
Thursday, so it's
Yeah.
a separate meeting.
So that could be, I mean, that would make sense, it's already scheduled too, and it's in here. The 4th is already in here. So if we want to keep that meeting,
Yeah, the 4th could be a meeting for BAC to look at the school budget.
and that would be with the whole admin there. You want
Yeah,
the
if they're-
presentation
if
that
they're-
night?
If they're needed. And then if we could also meet the 9th and finalize any input for their hearing on the 11th.
Right.
And then hold our hearing, what, the 16th, that Tuesday,
I would I would hold your hearing on the 9th,
on the 9th.
so that then if somebody's out in the public screaming about something, you
Okay.
can take that into account, and then they would have it for their public hearing, whether the BAC concurs or not.
Yeah.
That would make sense to me.
Just
So instead of finalizing any info on the 9th, it would be the public hearing for the BAC?
That schedule would work, it would be similar to what we do,
mhm.
just down the town side.
Sounds clean.
It's consistent too, so it's good.
Donna, the 4th, is that just our budget, or is that a regular meeting too?
No, it wouldn't, because our budget's, our meeting is the
second
second,
and fourth,
the
yeah,
second and
so-
fourth. So that was just a meeting. This was, what I did is I took a calendar from a few years ago,
Yep.
when Herb had said that the BAC was going to be in order, and I kind of plugged in the dates that worked in there, so.
Perfect.
Can we walk through those dates one more time, just so I
So
can
did we say, keeping the meeting in orange on the 4th, that would be the district with administrators presenting their budget to the BAC?
And is that going to serve as a BAC meeting as
Yes.
well?
Yes.
So we'll be warning that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So it's a joint BAC and school board meeting, basically, or, well, concurrent, maybe.
No, it could
No,
just be a
the-
BAC meeting.
Oh, yeah, I don't, the school, well, you wouldn't bring your board out even.
No, it wouldn't be my board. That,
On
we
the
meet the
board.
second.
That'd be BAC
It
meeting.
This is
says
just-
school board, but it would just be BAC and administration.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take out the word school board because that is confusing. But it's the BAC and the administration
So it's
meeting.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure we need all your administrators there, maybe just your BA there to speak on it. Unless,
Just the BA? Okay.
I mean, unless there's something unusual, I think that you want to
We
bring
don't have a
in
lot
an
of big asks.
administrator to come in, otherwise they're just spinning their wheels here, I think. And by that point, the two of you should be able to present
Yeah.
what they have, because you've gone through it at the your Sunday session and such.
Mhm.
You know.
Okay, so the 4th will be the 6:30 time, still good, at the SAU?
Yep.
And it'll be a BAC meeting, and myself and Rob will present the board. We'll present the
Tim.
budget.
Tim will be there too,
And Tim.
because by that time it'll be a school board budget, right?
Yeah,
So,
pretty easy for me on that part, because I already know what you said now.
And then on the 9th, it's a public hearing.
Public
BAC,
hearing,
public hearing.
public hearing and a meeting.
A public hearing and a meeting?
BAC.
Yeah, so they would have their public hearing, and then they would meet to vote yea or nay, or,
To just-
so a meeting with a public hearing, or however you want to
Right.
Okay.
And worst case, if something truly came out of the woodwork that was crazy, we could continue to have other meetings, but we hopefully
Right, because if we
would
had,
not need that.
the last day for a petition warrant article is the 9th, and we have ours on the 9th, so if something came up for the, whatever,
we already scheduled a meeting to discuss that
Yeah.
after that and say, hey, you know, we didn't
Yeah.
know,
And
whatever.
if something comes up at the hearing, the school board's public hearing on the 11th.
Right.
Always meet the following week.
Have to come back,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
But the good thing is, if you get any petition articles, you'd be able to bring them that night,
Yes,
and you might not have to come back
true.
if the school board didn't change their budget and no other changes. You'd have the petition articles in hand, and you could say yes or no that night.
Cool.
So then our next, so our formal next meeting is not until the 4th.
Yes.
Yes.
But we'll get the VAC, the budget.
On the
On the
15th, yep. And the TBD, I'll get rid of that. And if you, I'm gonna add in the dates onto this calendar, and I can always give you guys a clean copy of it, so that way you have a clean copy.
Awesome.
I can email it to people if that's easier, but. Except for you, you don't.
Yeah, who knows?
That's .org, right? You're safe,
Yeah,
we're
it should be safe,
.org.
Yeah, as long as it's not .gov. .gov is the only one I'm having a problem with. So.
I will definitely appreciate an email copy because I live
If
out
I
of-
can just get your email, that would be amazing.
Sure. It's kdufort66.
K,
KDUFORT 66@gmail.com.
perfect.
Jeff Kurtz.
What about that?
Your email, do you want me to email a clean copy
Please,
of this
yeah.
to you, or do you want to pick one up?
Yeah, I think you have it, but it's Tammy, T-A-M-I,
Yeah,
at hodan.com.
and what is it?
Hodan, hodan.com.
Okay. And you would prefer me to email it to you, or do you want to pick it up, Kurt?
Oh, I planned on picking it up, yeah,
Okay, then I won't email it to you then.
yeah.
All right, I'll have one for you.
Yeah,
I'll have Melissa give you a call when it's ready. It should be ready
Please.
tomorrow anyway. Okay. And Jeff, just your regular, do you want to email, do you want them dropped off here?
No, email works.
Do you want the full budget in the email too?
Sure.
Sure. We're going to pick up an extra printed copy.
No.
Okay.
Paul, you want it emailed?
Ken, do you want a printed copy of the budget, or do you want
Huh?
it emailed?
It
That's
needs to be
fine.
good.
Okay.
if we can
Thank
get
you.
Just everybody an email with dates and also the
Herb,
minutes
same
to
thing?
everybody, so.
Say that again?
Yeah, I can
I
print
think
it
it'll be good if we get
out.
an email chain going, so yeah, you
Okay.
can just use my work email.
And Herb, do I just use your email that is on the website?
No, you're talking about the government website?
What
No, I
email-
don't use.
What should I
yeah,
send
They
it
shut
to?
me off from the government, so. Herb T at prodigy.net.
Okay. And Tim, you want your email? You want to pick it up?
Yeah, you can email it. I have the budget, so.
Okay. Well, this way, if I email everybody like you're
Yeah.
saying it would, everybody's on there.
I'll let them know it's
Kurt, I'm gonna email one, but I know you're picking it up. The
Yeah.
reason why, this way everybody's on the email chain.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay. But I know you'll pick it up. We'll have one for
Yeah.
you to pick up. And then Rob, I know your email address.
Really?
Yeah, I got yours.
Is that?
And I'll let you know about Seth if he's
Oh,
going to
okay.
be or not.
Okay.
Add me to that email chain as well, please.
I think you just joined the BAC.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. If you're on the email chain, you're part of the BAC.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
So I would think your only other business is to nominate a chair or unilaterally adjourn.
I'll nominate Herb Teller as chair.
Second?
Can I decline?
Not until
I-
after your first term.
Ken has more group control experience.
I having in a former life done the town moderator over in Vermont, where I had previously been the chair of a a committee studying something, there's a dance that I would have to do as the moderator around that. I have to recuse myself, I have to have somebody else be the moderator when this committee would need to speak, or someone else from the committee would, I guess,
Sorry,
need to speak. It's a wrinkle.
Basically saying no. You're gonna have to do
I
it.
just put it out there.
That was a really nice way of saying it.
Other than that, I would be willing, but I don't, you know.
I'll accept temporarily if we can get Seth in here, then Seth has experience, so I'd rather have somebody experienced at the helm.
Any other nominations?
How about a nomination for vice chair?
We haven't voted yet.
The first one.
Do we have to vote?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain.
Kurt, did you vote
What am I voting for?
for Herb to be the chair?
Yes.
So it sounds like it was
Yeah, he said it was authority
a
too.
401, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, vice chair. I will nominate Jeff Kessler, a man with the experience.
Can I be, Paul?
I
You
believe so.
can be. You can be vice. You can't be a chair. You can be a vice chair.
And you thought you were gonna luck out. Nice try, Jeff. Nice try.
Is there a second to that nomination?
Second.
Call the vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I'll
Yes.
abstain.
401.
How many members do we have in here tonight?
5.
There are five.
Counting the board
Yeah.
members, 5, yes.
You and those 4.
Ideally, we need two more.
So, there's not 9 citizens then?
No.
There's 1 citizen.
I've made a lot of phone calls, but nobody's
Three,
really been
three
interested.
citizens.
What's that?
3 citizens. You, Herb, and Kent are the
Oh, okay.
citizens.
I thought Herb was still on this,
No, I got
Select.
tossed.
how did I miss that?
I don't know.
You blinked.
Now, should we, since we do not have what our operation procedures call for, should we go to the school board and the select board and request,
A variance?
yeah,
And
to
zoning.
cut it down
We'll
to
go to zoning.
a 4-person or 5-person? Just so that we're legal according to our procedures.
No, I think as long as you're advertising for the 7th seat,
Vacancy.
or 6th and 7th seat, I think you're all right, as long as you can,
Vacancies.
as long as you can have at least 4 at a meeting.
If you can get Seth, I'll make 6, and if we can just get one more.
I mean, as long as we have a quorum of what we should have.
You're allotted seats. That's the way
Okay,
I've
as long
always,
as the moderator's
So we have to have
happy
4.
with it.
as long as the moderator's happy with it, that's right.
Oh yeah, who's that guy?
Yeah, but no, that's commonly, and even sometimes zoning board, if they're down a member, you still say, all right, we're supposed to be 5, we need at least 3 to make a decision.
Okay, and what is our procedure as far as securing a minute taker?
I'll talk to Maura.
It has historically been the job of the budget owner, school or town,
Yeah.
to provide meeting space, minute taking, and any clerical support.
Snacks, refreshments.
The free
know,
drink
so-
minutes?
And posting of meetings.
If I end up on the school board, that won't cause any conflict, will it?
It would be after the school budget process is done. But if it might be an issue with the town, because if Tim's the school board rep, and, you know, you get on the school board, that would make 2, but I think we've had that issue before, and the other one has been like a private citizen. And you basically say we could grandfather you in.
Being on the board doesn't mean you lose your rights as a citizen. So,
So I was able to find, and it says internal use only, but I was able to find appointed committee members and terms. Is this, I mean, I have this, I can recreate this, but I would just need to know what everybody's terms will be, because I see you have to have 3-year, 2-year, all that stuff.
So those have historically run through the manager's office. Just that's where Biddy and Howard always were most comfortable, I think. So we can recreate that, and I think when you've appointed with terms in the appointment letters.
There was a little flurry of this with me with my moderator hat with Biddy that described to me that it wasn't with the moderator, so I stopped tuning into this, but that somewhere existed a document in the past, I guess, that spelled out for a lot of committees what these roles were. So,
Kurt, do you know if Biddy appointed you, or did you appoint?
Biddy.
Biddy did.
I have not. Yeah, I have not.
So, so we will have, if Biddy appointed, we will have all of that paperwork upstairs with terms.
If you find that you need a copy of this, let me know, and I can send it.
Yep.
Everybody's term is expired, so.
Yeah.
I think Ken and I are on the website, so I think we have terms on the website.
Oh.
I don't think Kurt made the list yet for some reason, but
On the website, there's only 2 people.
yeah, Kurt's not on it yet.
Yeah. We'll get that corrected.
Now, I noticed that the BAC is, all the advertisement is done on the town website, like the meetings, all of that stuff. Is that just for yours? So should we do our own?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably should put them, like, probably should advertise like on both, right? Like anything BAC should be on both our sites, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a budget advisory, it's not.
As long as we have, I mean, we don't have a lot of, I don't know if you guys have a town section, and I don't think we have
No.
a school section, so it makes it, I mean, I don't know if our BAC meetings are posted on the town meeting page of that, or if there's a separate BAC page.
You have a separate BAC
Yeah.
page.
Maybe we should add a BAC page to our.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna
That would
do.
make sense. Yeah.
Do we have any other business? Anybody think of anything? Anybody want to make any comments? Complaints?
I think Chair is supposed to bring snacks next time.
According to Paul, it's said,
Well, our
I
meeting
can
on
help with
Sunday
that.
involves snacks.
I was going to say, we can get takeout from
Lee
next
and I
door.
like to play with stuff.
I know.
I'll help with that.
That would be good.
All right.
Working meetings.
Entertain motion then.
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Good job, Bert. You're natural.